Okay, welcome to the Circle of Grace One. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, also known as Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. The Circle of Grace One was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. Well, it has its own very own spiritual and metaphysical institute founded on February 7th, 2009. So in just 4 more days, it will be 5 years old. And many people were able to get it in person as well as online. And that's what we do when we do, especially teleseminars and teleconferences. So bear with me a little bit. I'm planning to put something together. I was going to do it for January, but perhaps it may be on the air as a teleseminar through a special link or phone number that you can call, and it will be quite amazingly inexpensive. So anybody could get it through PayPal if you have that, or you can just send out a basic check and to me. All you have to do is email me at iam.circleofgrace1 at yahoo.com. That's iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end at yahoo.com. You can also contact me on Gmail using the same thing. iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end at gmail.com, or write to me at Bishop Francis, BISHOPFRANCIS, at circleofgrace1.net. Now you can also go to my circleofgrace1.net website and go to the contact page, and when you're there, you can leave me a brief email message, and I'll receive it just the same. Well, one of the things I want to bring out today is February 3rd, 2014. The universal year 2014 is just 16, which is a 7, or 34, which is a 7. If you use it as a 34, which is a 7, then you have the 30, the 4, the 3, and the 4 adding the 7. And 7 is the spiritual number of awareness and divinity, is also psychic impulses, is also deep levels of meditation, is also connected to prayer and meditation and decrees, affirmations, affirmative prayers. 7 is also finding oneself, being able to create better wellness situations for yourself so that you can heal yourself. As the ancient Egyptian master says, physician, heal thyself, or know thyself. So if you know yourself, you know what your limitations are, you can break through your limitations. If you know what your allergies are, you can break through and overcome your allergies. If you know your weaknesses, you can strengthen them and turn them into something that's positive by creating positive habits and thinking positively. But not only just having positive attitudes, thinking positively, but doing positive things. That's right, taking action in your own life. You hear a lot of people always say in multi-level marketing and network marketing, take massive action. Well, what I've learned, even if you are in those events, apply all of that to yourself. Apply all of those things to yourself. Whatever you can to take massive action to change your life, you should do so. And you don't have to wait to create a business to do it. The business that you do have is your own life and your own health and your own wellness on all different levels: your emotional, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your causal, your avatar type tendencies, your opportunities to move up the ladder for yourself spiritually and make an impact or influence your community, your relatives, your immediate family members, your close associates and friends, and people you don't even know. To make a better assessment of who you are, you look around your surroundings and you see who you have there. And you know at some point there are going to be a lot of people coming and going in your own lives. And what you want to do is not let any of that affect you. So if you have negative experiences with people and you're not connecting, sometimes you want to look at what is it that you might be broadcasting. Internally, inside of yourself, you are carrying certain information, certain vibrational thoughts and feelings, and you might be telegraphing that to a lot of people. And when you put that element out into the ethers, out into your surroundings, you draw that to yourself. Whatever you put out is going to come back. So if you have negative thoughts, negative feelings, doubts, illusions, disbeliefs, if you're upset, if you keep harping on it, you're going to make it materialize and you see it outside of yourself. If you focus on the positive and keep putting out the positive, keep repeating positive things inside of yourself, then eventually you'll see that spill out into your auric field, into your surroundings. So this is a way that you want to better enhance yourself. You want to really begin to focus on you and what you can contribute. But before you begin to contribute to things externally, it is best to contribute to yourself internally. That's right, find out what it is that you need to do to make the proper changes for yourself, the proper adjustments, so that you can adapt to the changes that happen internally. Because whatever's going on the inside is reflected into the external. The people that pop up in your life that you may not be getting along with or you may not understand, they are just replicas of the thoughts that are going on the inside of you. If you find yourself battling clutter, I have myself battling clutter all the time. It's on the inside, not on the outside. And once you feel a connectiveness and a solidness in yourself and a sense of continuity, then all of that goes away. So, the more we work on ourselves, the more that we will see our environments get clear around ourselves. We'll see more positive people in our lives, and we will have more positive experiences in our lives because we're doing everything we need to do internally. So, what are some of the different ways that we can get in? Because this is a 7 universal year, and it's really about getting on the inside of ourselves. Well, sometimes when you're in that 7 personal year, or 7 personal month, or 7 personal day, 7 personal week, it's all about discovering and uncovering core issues, things that seem to be acting as the root in your life, where these things begin to fester, they begin to pop up. So you want to look at things that have created a repetitive action in your life, things that you seem to be drawn to that could pull you back or pull you down. I know I was talking to a person at my apartment here earlier this morning, and I was helping that person to see that sometimes, even though they're very magnetic, they still will draw various people that are drainers in their lives. And we've all experienced the drainers in our lives. These are the people that hang on to your energy because you have so much energy. These are the people that hang on to your ideas and pull at you because you have lots of ideas and you're willing to share your ideas. But sometimes you have to be selective of who you're going to share that energy with. The same happens in romantic and marital relationships. Hopefully, the couples are working on themselves individually and as a couple so they are not draining each other. They're not creating imbalances with each other. They're not overwhelming each other, but they're boosting and being supportive of each other, nurturing each other to bring out the best in each other, and then the relationship emanates that. What we begin to realize is that every lesson that we go through is not necessarily a lesson. I'm just reading the other day out of a book. I'm not to give the title out right now. If you want to email me, I'll tell you what that book is. But it suggests that your lessons are really initiations. Can you imagine that? Your lessons are really initiations. And if what you look at the word initiation is the act of what? Starting something, putting something into motion so that you can carry out the experience and you can receive all the blessings that the experience can give to you. We have many opportunities where we meet people. Some people can be carriers of anger and depression and mood swings. Some people can have addictions, and sometimes they may bring out your pseudo addictions, bring out your anger, bring out your depressive moments, your moodiness. Then you have people who can be very sweet around you, and they can bring out the sweetness out of yourself. So many times, the experiences that we find ourselves in are lots to us an opportunity to start to clear something up in our lives. I remember listening to a person on, I believe it was Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, and that person was saying, in your adult life, you're really working out all the things you couldn't work out as a child. And I thought about that. I said, wow, that kind of blew my mind. Our adulthood is utilized to work out the unfinished business of your childhood. That means, as a child, you've been influenced by elders, peers, and other life situations and choices. And as a child, you don't make the necessary choices because you have parents that will make those choices for you. There are some parents who understand you're just a soul just like they are. And they're there to help guide you along, to give you the proper tools. But they can't give you the proper tools if they don't have them. And that sometimes leaves a lot of children in the wake of destruction in different ways in their lives. And some make it and some don't. So it's imperative for those who are parents and guardians of children, be you grandparents, adopted parents, uncles, and aunts, that you strive to keep yourself clear, especially emotionally clear, so that you could nurture the children that are around you. If you're not clear or orderly yourself, you're not going to be able to help them. If you're not one who speaks words of wisdom and positiveness, you're not going to be able to help them. Now, there are some children who are old souls who can cut through all of that and see that you can only go but so far. Therefore, they take whatever you say and they're able to flip it around and find the golden threads and sew up any wounds or any scars that they have received from being in that relationship with you. They're able to free themselves and keep themselves clear. And through the power of their own mind and the power of their own magnetic hearts, they're able to draw the right situations with the right people coming into their lives. So we're in this 7 universal year. Well, think of the seventh sign of the zodiac, which is Libra. Libras have an opportunity to get clear this life, to become more prosperous through their relationships, to be using that principle of justice with themselves, to be more just in nature with others. Seven is also Neptune, which is so all Pisces individuals have an opportunity to live out their dreams and visions. Now, what is very unique for Pisces people to do is create that inner balance. And for Libra people to use that psychic, intuitive, empathic nature to maintain the balance in their lives. So this is highly important for all individuals influenced by that seven vibration, especially if you're born on the 7th, the 25th, or the 16th of any month, and specifically first under Pisces, followed by Libras or Pisces and Cancerian people. And some of you are under the sign of Taurus a little bit, should look within to see where you could bring forth change in yourself, where you can reorient, which means to align and attune yourself to the divine forces. You see, because once you can do that and then get rooted, more grounded, more centered on earth, through earth, you will open up a wealth of treasure for yourself. So here we have 2014, the Universal 7. Well, how's that affecting February? Well, February becomes 7 plus 2, becomes a 9 universal month. This can be a great time to practice humanitarianism. This is also a great time for those of you born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of any month to become the spiritual warrior, not a physical warrior, but a spiritual warrior, a humanitarian, a minister of sorts, or administrator, to become an excellent teacher, excellent professor, or an instructor. Maybe you're a personal trainer. 9 governs sports. If you're a personal trainer, be the best personal trainer you can be. Be an expert in your field. Be a master in your field. And do what? Coach people to do the same. Become a mentor. So that's great. If you're in this 9 universal month as a teacher, instructor, minister, a coach, athletic coach, life coach, voice coach, acting coach, or agent for somebody, then the great thing that you could do is that you strive to maintain high standards and that you meet those standards yourself first. Then what? You become the living example for others to see. It is very hard for people to see where to go or see it in you if you're not working on that. It is all right for them to see you strive and sometimes fall. At least they know that you're not somebody that's on a pedestal somewhere who's never tried anything out, who's never done anything, never been on the hot seat. So people have this opportunity to get themselves out there more onto the stage of life where they can be truly seen. Even the master Sananda, who walked as Jesus, says, you know, people want to tell others the way to go, and he would say a block of wood can do the same, and he's right. Place a block of wood down and point it in a direction. The wood is not speaking; it's just pointing. What he meant by that scenario is you've got to walk with clear footsteps. Clear footsteps steps are the processes that other people can see. They can see the different events. They can see what you did to remedy any difficult moments in those events. They can see how you decided to overcome the obstacle or the obstacle overcame you. But the most important thing, be you a teacher, a healer, a minister, you can expound about the great wealth of things. But sometimes what people need is just something that's simple, that shows them how to turn it around for themselves. As a friend of mine said the other day, she wants to be able to impact people so they can learn how to fish for themselves. The people are not looking for you to give them the fish. People want to learn how to catch their own fish, catch their own prosperity in their own prosperity net, catch their own abundance in their own abundance, how to create it. So all of us are in this position right now, in this very moment, where we could step forward. But when we step forward, we got to do it with courage. We've got to do it with faith. We've got to trust. And who do we trust? Well, you got to trust yourself, and you got to trust that you have this uh, connection, this unbroken, unshakable connection with the divine source. You got to know that you're hooked up to it. You got to know that you're rooted into it. You got to know that you can become the anchor, and you got to know that you shall survive. And not just survive, that you can thrive. That means no matter what pops up, you're not going to allow it to overcome you. And there are going to be moments, of course, when it does. See, when you're in a 9 personal day, 9 personal week, 9 personal year, 9 personal month, you're going to see a lot of coming and going. That means people who you thought were your friends, you might have a fallout, a misagreement with them, through almost a petty argument or something that was held on too long emotionally and mentally and not shared, that was held on in a secret manner, you might find them walking out of your life. But in the long run, in the end, you might see that was necessary. Because maybe that particular relationship where both of you are involved with each other was really a crutch to each other, a wall. And maybe you weren't letting each other walk your path. And in this life, you got to walk your path, but know that you're walking your path in conjunction with everyone else. It's like it's a team effort. And when all cylinders and all pistons are working, you can't go wrong. You can't lose. There's nothing to lose. There's only gaining. So here you are in this 9 universal month of February. What do you want to do? Well, here's an old phrase I used to use way back there in the 80s, when the 1980s represented the years of the 9. And that's this: reach for the impossible. That way, along the way of reaching for that higher standard, you will pick up all that is possible. Now, what is that? Well, impossible doesn't mean that it cannot be attained. In fact, through a deep meditation just a couple of years ago, one of the ascended masters told me that impossible, I am, Possible, is really I apostrophe am. That's I apostrophe am. Can you imagine that? I apostrophe am. That's a contraction for what? I am. I am possible. That means you possess the ability. The spirit in you possesses the ability to create any situation where you could thrive. So therefore, it's really not a negative. It's not outside of you because it's being created on the inside of you. When you internalize a thought or a feeling, that's cooking on the inside. That's percolating on the inside. That's marinating on the inside until everything is just right. This is why some of the things we need to put into motion when we set high standards and goals for ourselves is patience. If you have patience, you will see something unfold and you'll be able to step right into it. Another thing, not only being persistent and patient, but is maintaining inner peace and calmness. In other words, not to worry. Because when you worry on something, all that worry energy goes to that thing that you're thinking about and dismantles the energy, dismantles and disfigures the foundation that you're building. Then there's faith. The faith is important. Take that H off and turn the letters, the A and the I around. You have a word called fiat, which is a divine spark. So faith is really the divine spark that sits in your heart, where you know for a sure fact that what you are thinking about, what you're feeling, what you're working toward, what you have the emotional energy, the soul energy into it, it's going to work for you. You don't have to worry about anything. This is important for anybody that's out there trying to attain their goals. Doesn't matter if you're a martial artist, budding martial artist, a budding golfer, already a pro golfer. Doesn't matter if you are someone who's striving to become an attorney or legal counsel for somebody, or has mastered enough languages where you can go in and be an interpreter for somebody, or you're a choreographer, an actor, actress, comedian, composer, arranger, musician, stage musician, stage magician, both stage musician, stage magician. You can do anything. This is why it's so important for parents to instill in their children that they can accomplish anything. Because if the parents, they represent the soil for which the flower can grow, can come out of, their children can grow. So if children have a home base that they can come back to that speaks about excellence, speaks about doing your best, speaks about acting right, being polite, being loving, showing unconditional love, knowing that divine grace intervenes at any moment and brings you forward. The children can be comfortable with themselves and know that everyone around them can grow in comfort. If they know that they can think positive, they can live a positive life. You shouldn't have to struggle. This is why we know it's up to parents, siblings that are older to set the standard and what? Encourage the younger ones. Encourage them to step and dream big and then walk into that dream. And how can they walk into that dream? Is live it as though it is happening right now. Or better yet, live it as now. We've seen time and time again where many children grow into their teenagers and early adult years, and there's some that have been able to do it all by themselves. There are some that run into that athletic coach that acts like the role model. There's some that have the corner brother, as I say, the man on the corner that's going through so many things and shares with them what they can do, or the grandmotherly type woman that can share with the children and tell them just how important it is to achieve their goals and work toward their goals. So there's many different things, and that's what happens in adulthood. Many of us, and all of us, are still working out the missing points in our childhood. Many are. And this might be the reason why so many people fall into the psychologist, psychotherapist office, the psychiatrist office, because many things wasn't able to be attended to as a child, wasn't worked out, wasn't healed. The fragmentation wasn't pieced back together properly so that person could feel wholeness. So here you are, all of us in a 9 universal month. Humanitarianism, wholeness, wellness. The baby reaching maturity means a sage like person, the mystic type person who's overtaking all the mysteries and all the secrets. No more covert activity. What is covert? Hidden. No more hidden activity. Nothing hidden from your physical view or from your sympathetic nervous system to feel and sense what is going on around you. So here you are. It's a 9 universal month. People born on February 9th and 18th and February 27th. February 27th Pisces. February 9th and 18th is Aquarians. Aquarians can go far. It is a 7 universal month. So if you're in February, the 7th, 16th, and 25th can assist you, or numbers that add also to 2 or 4 or 1 can assist you. There's a lot of numbers, but the bottom line is you can get through this month. You can get through this month. Nothing is impossible for you to achieve. You just have to have the faith. You've got to trust yourself, faith in yourself, and know that the universe, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, is there to build you up. The galaxy is here to build you up. Your prayers can build you up. The old folks used to say, stay prayed up. Pray every day, meditate every day. Affirmative prayers build you up. What is an affirmative prayer? An affirmative prayer is really you are acknowledging that the truth about who you are is eternal. The truth about what you're connected to is eternal. So is always present. Sometimes people want to learn from the people who are way at the top. Well, there's people along the way who have messages for you, have intricate insight and information. You just have to open up your heart to hear them. Begin to use your heart as your eyes and your ears. That's right. Use your heart as your eyes and your ears. This way you can sense the reality that is around you. You can sense the fruit that is around you. You can feel the treasures coming up all the way around you. You can recognize them, embrace them. Now, what is the downside of the 9 and the 7, which is the 16? Is to overcome any addictive patterns of behavior. Well, some of the most out in front ones are sexual addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions. If you don't have those addictions, you might have other addictions, holding on to anger, or finding ways to be angry all the time, or finding ways to talk negative all the time, or always looking for the negative rather than looking for the positive. Those in itself can be an addiction. Laziness, procrastination, lying, addictions. Betrayal, addictions. Being not faithful in a relationship, an addiction. Sense of power, having so much importance in yourself that you don't hear others in conversation, or that you're not willing to be open to others in conversation. That's an addiction too. That's an addiction to be the authority, always correct type of person, Mr. and Miss Perfect all the time, and you're not. What's another addiction? Hiding from the truth of who you really are. That's another addiction. There are all kinds of addictions. They pop up in different forms. Food is an addiction. Overexercising can be an addiction. Isolating yourself all the time from society or from others can be an addiction. You got to interact at some point. Taking a retreat is a good thing. The in-house retreat is good. Going away on a retreat is good. Maybe you have money saved up and you want to put some pleasures around yourself, so you go to a hotel in your city. Same thing. Just allowing yourself to get away. Go to a spa, mineral spring, somewhere where you could spend some quiet time for yourself and begin to what? Remold yourself. Bring yourself back together into oneness and back to your true connection to the divine, and find it within yourself and see it outside of yourself. You know, we're just light forms, forms of intelligent light that knows all, sees all, hears all, senses all, has all memories going on at the same time. People say, I would say people of the metaphysical science communities have taught for years that this is a holographic universe and this is a multi-dimensional place, which means your past, present, and your future are running concurrent. They're running together. So they're not so much ahead of you or behind you, but side by side. Can you imagine driving down a 16 or 20 lane road, everybody going in the same direction? Some people might be driving in the same direction you're going in, getting off the same exit you're going to get off, or go to the end of the road like you are. Can you imagine you are in your lane and all others are connected to you? And then the lanes bleed together, which means they're coming into your lane. Now, when we drive in a car, you'd like them to come behind you or in front of you. But in a spiritual sense, they're blending into you. Sometimes these other selves, the soul aspects, as the Aboriginals would say, soul retrieval, bring all the fragmented parts of yourself back to you. where you are solid, yet you're open. You can communicate with all aspects of yourself. That is one of the important things to remember, that you can communicate with all aspects of yourself. There's no such thing that you cannot hear or see or sense yourself, because you are present. You are very much in the present moment. The divine is right wherever you are. That's where that phrase is: wherever God is, I am. Wherever you find yourself, God is present. The divine is present. It always is. This is why people say go out in nature and just walk around and really enjoy the sunlight or the moonlight, the sunrise, the sunset. Nature. What is nature? Nature is that truth that is always unfolding, and always becoming, and always being, and always has been. It's right there. You're looking at the nature of something, you're looking at the truth that is infinite. Truth never changes. Things around it can change. Interpretations of the truth can change. But the essence itself never changes. So, should take the things that they see going on around them as meditation moments. I have a lot of family and friends out on the East Coast experiencing all these snowstorms. And one of the things you could do is not let it upset you. Use it as a time to hibernate if at all possible. Take a moment and go within yourself to see what the answers are. Winter kills germs. Cold air, frigid air kills germs. Cold air causes people to snuggle together, come together, and create a warmth of community with themselves. It brings people together who normally may not talk. Sometimes even in family, they may not communicate. So being indoors allows them to what? Communicate, right? Allows them to get together. Sometimes people find themselves hashing out old problems. But what they really should do is accept and learn how to listen to each other, and then begin to embrace the goodness of each other. And then together, with an open heart and an open mind, can go through those things which they no longer need. See, under the 9 vibration, 9 is like cleaning house. It's beginnings and endings. Doesn't mean that you don't start something, but what you do is you initiate something. But let's say if your house is full, if your closets are full, release things that you haven't used in years. Maybe there's something you're looking for that you thought you lost, but maybe you misplaced it. Maybe that thing you could still use, that item. But if you got clothes in your closet that you haven't used or you no longer use, pass them on. Go to those agencies that take old items and put them out there for others to have. Maybe you got an old cell phone that doesn't work. Well, if you can get the memory off the old phone, take the SIM cards out and give them back to those stores where you got them from. Let people connect. Or maybe you just delete them. Maybe you got a memory of information in there you can delete. Most of your cell phones, even if they're not smartphones, you can hook them up to your computer and get all your old pictures off. If they were camera type phones. If they were phone numbers and addresses, you can get all of that off. Then just delete them. You got it right there. We don't have to hold on to things that we're not using. Only hold on to things if you plan to use them in the immediate future of your nowness. Only save those things. Save those things that you utilize all the time. Sometimes people think they need thousands of clothes, but they don't. You just need to have some clothes that you know that are like your everyday gear. You know, here I am in the Southwest. Never thought I'd be wearing jeans every day. Man, sandstorm hit. You don't need to be wearing your finery. You need to be in your jeans. Something's gonna last. Okay, so you learn different things in different environments. Another thing is to be jovial. That's highly important. If you could bring laughter in the light of someone's darkness, downtime, you are serving humanity, even though it's that one person. But you're serving on a higher level many other people who are like that. And you are also serving yourself because you are actually balancing out the energy with yourself. And that's very important. Learn to create healing for yourself. There are a lot of healers out there who aren't really healers. Now, I'm not downgrading what they do, but sometimes spirit brings to me, if I want to, let's say, if I want to teach somebody meditation, I got to be in the meditation. If I'm going to teach somebody some Tai Chi principles, I better be using those Tai Chi principles myself. We have to be true now because the universe is moving so fast. It's going to move people past you who you wanted to assist, but they could see that you're not where you're supposed to be. So if you're a healer, may I suggest to you that you work on your weaknesses. You work on your bouts of illnesses. You start detoxing yourself on some level. And if you're unable to do it yourself, go to those who have done it. Those who are already working the remedies, working it out. It's very important right now. Because if you continue, and this is just an observation, if you continue to not utilize the natural things that you have learned, it is like you are sealing it off not only from yourself, but do you know you might be sealing off others through the ethers who are trying to get there to that natural state of wellness. They may then pick up doubt and not even heal themselves. And we can heal ourselves. I have no doubt that we can heal ourselves. I heal myself of eczema. But my skin used to be as dark as the night because of impurities in my system. And one of the worst impurities was worry and anxiety. But through the power of meditation, I noticed my skin texture and tone of the skin would change. And I said, ha ha, I'm changing it through meditation. And that was back in 1987. I stepped into the meditation deeper. I had been a student of meditation since 1971, but when I stepped into it, 16 years later, because I had a dermatology problem that wasn't a dermatology problem. It was a worry and anxiety and stressful problem. And when I learned that I could turn it around, my skin has never been that way before. Never again. This is the power of the mind. It's the power. The power of the mind. Mind over matter and matter over mind is really one and the same. So, we have this ability to move things. I know this was about numerology and meditation. So, we've got another 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. Let me take you into some meditation. For those of you who will watch this later, let me take you into some meditation. What I want you to focus on, and I'm going to give you a meditation that I used recently this past Friday night at my an evening with Brother Francis out here on the east side of Albuquerque. And it really opened a lot of people up. And it really brought a lot of information for me to give to people. I want you to take 3 to 4 deep breaths. Sit comfortably in your chair. Don't let yourself slouch forward with a crooked neck or a bent spine too much, or where you're top part of yourself with your chest is impacted down on your middle and your lumbar area. Sit so that you're comfortable. Place the tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your two front teeth. Excuse me. And relax into your breathing. Inhaling through the nose and then just letting the breath drop out through your mouth. And every time you inhale, just scan your body from head to toe. Wherever you have tightness, it's okay. Move your shoulders around. Maybe take your middle section, move it in and out. Make the necessary adjustments that you need to make. You can place your hands in your lap so that they're palm up or palm down. Or you could put right palm down and left palm up if you like. Whichever way you want to do this. Hands can be clasped together. Prayer hand if you want. Index fingers together. Index and middle fingers together. However you want to do it. Whatever's comfortable. Keep your feet flat on the floor if you're seated in a chair. Those of you that understand yogic principles, yogic postures, you can sit in half lotus or full lotus position. Maybe you're seated on the floor, place your back up against the wall, place a little pillow there in the small part of your back. Fill up that gap that you might get between the lower part of your back and the wall or at a chair. After you complete that third or fourth breath, do all the breathing through your nose without pausing. You can close your eyes, leave your eyes partially open. Let's take a walk into nature. What I want you to see is a butterfly. Butterfly. Whichever one that you've seen before will come up in your memory. Take a moment and let it grow in detail. Maybe you've seen a marlin in this beautiful orange and black. Maybe you've seen other kinds, very beautiful shades in the wings, in their bodies, their wings and their feet. We call it feet, but they're legs. By the way, butterflies smell through their feet. Very sensitive creatures. Butterflies represent transformation and renewal. And what we did during that journey, we went from the current state of the butterfly back to when the butterfly was in the cocoon. When the butterfly was in larva state. Many people saw caterpillars. We saw caterpillars, small and large ones, very beautiful. But nonetheless, butterfly, transformation. Think of butter, smooth, smooth sailing, smooth flying. You see that butterfly perched upon the petals of a flower, upon the branch of a tree. You can even smell the flower. You can smell the bark of the tree itself. You can smell the soil. You can even feel the soil on your fingertips against your body. But just let yourself go deeper now into that state of consciousness where you're not seeing the butterfly, but now you see and feel what the butterfly is seeing and feeling. You become one. Take that moment and become one with the truth of nature itself. The ever, forever unfolding truth of divinity, of healing, of wellness, of wholeness, grace, divine grace, unconditional love, peace, harmony, understanding, balance, resilience, consistency. Begin to see everything and feel it. Feel it running through you, cords of light running through you. You can see the beauty of the butterfly and see everything of its same similar species. You begin to see what the butterfly senses and see. See it take flight as it moves from one branch to the next, and one tree to the next, and over earthen roadways, and over other animals, and past birds. Birds perched high up in the air on the trees, and birds in flight. Just take that moment. Allow yourself to get in touch with the depth, the infinite, I'm going to say, ridges and realms of nature. Make yourself a part of it. You're not separate. Maybe you become like a moth. A moth is always persistent about the light. See yourself go into the light and not be harmed by the light. Be healed by the light. Be balanced to feel greater wholeness as the light. But even when there's nightfall, lunar rays coming off the sun are still impacting and influencing you, and you're still growing. You can still feel the chi coming from the sun, bouncing off the moon, and still coming to you. Bouncing off the earth, coming out of the earth, and still coming to you. You're dancing with that energy, you're exchanging with that energy, you feel a sense of oneness with that energy. So, can you imagine that? I'm going to leave you with this thought that everything that you experience, you create. And this, beloveds, is a part of your infinite power of divine grace. Well, thank you for being here and watching this later or watching it live now. But know it was an opportunity for you to receive a special message of some sort. Know that your divinity, your sense of divinity is intact and has never left you. Know that as you become more sovereign, more independent, but know that even when you are becoming more sovereign, more independent, you're still a part of this multi-dimensional universe, this holographic universe. So you have things that can bless others, and know that if you're open enough, you can receive blessings as well. This is why we use the term beloved. You are loved, and you are being more of that love. Learn to seed into someone else's life. It's like making a deposit in someone else's life. Someone needs joy around you. Someone needs a smile. Someone needs a kind word. Someone needs some assistance. They don't need your ego. They need your heart. Give something from your heart that will bless someone else. And you're doing it not to get applause, not to get any accolades. You're doing it because you remember at some point in one of your numerous lifetimes, you were in that condition. So you have the opportunity to create a healing, a sense of wellness for that individual that you come across. And sometimes we say in the spiritual community, that person could be an angel in disguise, just to see if you're going to do your work, do your job, see if you're going to be in service. Because you might give them that quarter and decided, nah, I got $1. I got a $5 bill. You know, if you're moved by a spirit to give them a five, if I were you, I would give them a five. Because that means that five is coming back to you. Not only as a five, but as a 10, as a 20, as a blessing. Someone finds time to bless you with a thing. As they say, pay it forward. What is it that you want to pay forward? Do you know when you pay something forward, the universe is paying you also? That's why if you bless somebody with $2 instead of 50 cents, you create a blessing that has a ripple and domino effect. and we'll come back to you anyway. Know that you have the power to give as well as the power to receive. Learn how to receive a compliment. Learn how to give a compliment. Learn how to give a seed and receive a seed. You don't have to have billions of dollars to practice this, but you got billions of ideas to see, to give. Share a part of yourself. You shall be blessed. I said a part. You decide the part you want to share. 10%, 20%, 30%. Share when you can. Give when you can. Seed when you can. Love when you can. But most of all, have that understanding and follow through. Well, my friends, my beloved friends, the community here, watching the Circle Grace One program, we didn't broadcast on what is called the acknowledged day of Martin Luther King's birthday, that national holiday, which was on the 20th. We didn't broadcast last week because we got so busy. I say we, me, myself, and I didn't broadcast last week because I was involved in doing some other things. But I came on here today. I came on here just before 6 p.m. or almost at 6 p.m. So we're not letting any retrograde Mercuries get in the way. We're still going to communicate this. As I said before, soon I will be planning a special teleseminar. It might be 45 minutes, an hour to 90 minutes. It'll be very inexpensive for anybody to get. It'll be an opportunity. I was going to do some paid per view shows here. I don't know yet, but we'll see what we could muster up. Okay. In the meantime, if you want to be in touch with me, Skype me. Skype phone number is 973-685-5978. I have a Magic Jack number, Grace Divine Decree Line. And that number is 505-717-4722. As a 2-minute decree on there that you'll hear, then you can leave your message. Or just email me, iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com, iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at gmail.com, or Bishop Francis, BishopFrancis at circleofgrace1.net. Well, the Circle Grace One was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. And of course, it gave birth to its very own Spiritual and Metaphysical Institute on February the 7th, 2009. And so that is called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. So I put them both together. The Circle of Grace One is the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And we're right here now in the state of New Mexico, and we're sharing all these beautiful meditation times, and we're getting a lot bigger. And I say we, my protege as well. She's doing some great work out here. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. So stay in touch. You know, the Circle of Grace One is prospering abundantly in its own way, and it's here to make sure you prosper abundantly in your own way. And there's just so many ways, infinite ways in which you can do that. Well, until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. And I should be back here next week. Our regular time is 5 o'clock. We might come on at 6 o'clock. And also know I'm going to do some random broadcasting. What's random broadcasting? Sometimes Spirit moves me to come on at 1 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 2 a.m. 3 a.m. in the morning Mountain Standard Time, just to get this information. I might give you some of the sage-like messages that appears on my Twitter. I might garnish all of those together and just come here and just read them off and teach them to you. In any event, you have a blessed night now, a blessed day, a blessed week, and know that all shall be well. And again, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Take care of yourself. See you soon.